Why is it that every time you try to explain yourself, you walk away feeling smaller? Not misunderstood, not clarified, smaller. As if something inside you quietly folded in on itself. Most people never stop to question this feeling. They just assume they didn't explain well enough. So they explain again, and again, and again. This is a story about someone who did that for years. His name was Noah. Noah wasn't loud. He wasn't invisible either. He existed in that uncomfortable middle space where people notice you just enough to question you, but not enough to truly listen. Whenever Noah made a choice that didn't fit expectations, he felt the need to justify it. Why he changed paths, why he left something stable, why he didn't want what everyone else wanted. And every time someone raised an eyebrow, Noah rushed to fill the silence. He explained his reasons carefully, logically, politely. He thought clarity would protect him, but something strange kept happening. The more he explained, the less solid he felt. Have you noticed that feeling? You start confident, certain, grounded, but midway through your explanation, your voice softens, your sentences get longer, your reasons start to sound like apologies, and suddenly you're no longer sharing a choice, you're defending your existence. Noah felt that exact shift. It happened at dinners, at work, with friends he cared about. Someone would ask, "But why would you do that?" And his chest would tighten. Not because he didn't know why, but because he knew what was coming. The subtle judgment, the unspoken comparison, the pressure to make his life make sense to someone else. So he explained. He talked about practicality, about growth, about timing. He used words that sounded reasonable, safe, acceptable. And each time, something drained out of him. Not energy, authority. One night, after a long conversation that left him exhausted, Noah walked home in silence. No music, no phone, just the sound of his footsteps. He realized something unsettling. He wasn't tired from talking. He was tired from shrinking. Because every explanation had a hidden message inside it. Please approve of me. A few days later, Noah visited an old man who lived alone near the edge of town. Not a mentor, not a guru, just someone known for speaking little and listening deeply. They sat together in quiet for a long time. Eventually, Noah spoke. "I don't know why," he said, "but every time I explain myself, I feel weaker." The old man nodded as if this was not new information. "Because," he said calmly, "you are trading presence for permission." Noah did not respond. The man continued. "When you explain yourself unnecessarily, you move from standing to pleading." He picked up a stone from the ground. "This stone does not explain why it belongs here. It doesn't argue with the ground. It doesn't justify its weight." He placed the stone back down. "It simply is." That sentence stayed with Noah longer than anything else. Over time, he began to notice patterns. Strong people didn't rush to explain, not because they were arrogant, but because they were rooted. They spoke when invited, clarified when misunderstood, but they didn't perform coherence for comfort. They trusted that what was real did not need constant narration. Noah started experimenting with silence. The next time someone questioned his choice, he answered simply, "This is what feels right for me." Nothing more. The silence that followed felt dangerous at first, But then, something unexpected happened. He didn't feel smaller. He felt taller. Not louder, not superior, just intact. Here's what most people miss. Explaining yourself isn't always weakness, but over-explaining is often fear in disguise. Fear of being misjudged, fear of being rejected, fear of standing alone in your own decision. And that fear quietly trains you to abandon yourself first. So let me ask you something. How many times have you tried to make your life understandable to people who were never trying to understand you? How often do you confuse clarity with self-erasure? And what would happen if the next time you felt the urge to explain, you paused? Not to be cold, not to be distant, but to stay whole. Because inner strength is not built by convincing others. It's built by staying present, even when silence feels uncomfortable. If this story resonates, let it sit with you. You don't need to explain why. And if you feel like sharing, leave a comment with just one word: whole. Subscribe if you want more quiet stories like this, stories that don't shout, but stay with you. And before you go, notice how it feels to not explain yourself one last time.